if you don't mind, let's talk a little bit about just the retirement planning confidence. Did you start your career, you heard of a 401k, said, I'm going to save for 25 years, I'm going to do all the right things, or were you like, I found out about saving later in life? Who taught you about retirement planning? All of that I'd love to hear.
hmm So I actually found out, like you said, later about 401k, about actually HSA, all these financial instruments, and
Yeah.
I had no idea essentially. I was just working, had a nice salary, we were traveling, enjoying life, no saving in that for that matter, like no deliberate savings or anything. But maybe because I was lucky to have good jobs and good colleagues, good companies, I was able to earn enough, not just to enjoy life, but also to invest, to save, to start 401k at some point, and doing right financial things. But maybe I just got lucky, and now I have a pretty diversified source of stability, source of income, and just somehow it happened to me. Now I'm thinking if I would do something more deliberate in the early stages of life, I would be able to retire a lot sooner. I just sometimes maybe lost it. From the other hand, I lived my life at full. I was not saving a lot of money or trying like to get, from check to check, this kind of stuff. I overspent in my previous life. I clearly overspent.
Do you remember what age you started to not aggressively start saving, but when you were intentional? Was it early 30s? Was it late 20s?
Oh, it was like mid 30s when I started to save. I started to think more about financial future and about life in general, the future. Because when we're young, when we're 30, when we're 25, we don't even think about, oh, we're going to be old someday. We're going to be like living off our savings someday. We never think about this, and that's a good thing. That allows you to enjoy your moment today. But then 35, maybe closer to 40s, you start, oh, I gotta have some cushion. And you frankly, you don't have a lot to spend on anything. Like there are not that much of a time that you have, because this essentially career consumes your all time. By your 40s or 40s, 50s, you're like you said, workaholic. You basically work all the time. You don't have things to spend on. And that's where you start saving. Instead of spending, you transition to saving. Like kind of naturally. Oh, you have a lot of money. Why don't I invest that? Why don't I start this account, 529 for kids, and all these things. And you gradually come to the idea that now, okay, it's becoming a second goal in your life to save enough to be able to enjoy that later in life. So it's all coming one after another pretty naturally, I'd say.
The most powerful thing that I've taken from this conversation is a phrase we talk about a lot, which is the sign of a good financial plan is a life well lived. And what I love about what you're saying is you didn't at 20 years old, 22 years old go, okay, so I'm not going to go to the movies. We're not going to take trips. We're only going to put money in a 401k. You lived life. You enjoyed it. And in your mid 30s, you were like, okay, I have a good amount that I can save and still enjoy life.
Mm-hmm.
And here you are retiring literally less than 20 years after you started to actually be intentional about saving. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, that's exactly what we are supposed to do. Oh, I'm convinced all people should try doing this. Should not be overcomplicating their lives when they're early in their careers or with their relationships. When I hear people like, not go, oh, I haven't been taking my wife to honeymoon, and we were married like for 10 years. Like, how come? You absolutely should go wherever. You should travel. You should take care of a family. Don't save. Spend. This is your time. You're never going to be young again. You're never going to be healthy again. Just that's your chance.